we've been talking about the pantry, and with all this stuff going on, people are stocking up their pantries. You definitely don't want to waste food right now because we don't know. I mean, people go to the store, they buy up all this stuff. We just don't know. So I have learned through my years of cooking not to waste anything. I can survive with several meals on one type of food item. You can even go to my website, 5 different ways to use one chicken and make 5 different things with it. Same chicken. Anyway, so that's foodnationradio.com. But today we're going to make some banana bread. This recipe is also on my site at foodnationradio.com, and this YouTube will have a link to the website so you can go see it. But we're making banana bread, and I developed this recipe because I wanted to use up stuff in my fridge and not have a super high fat banana bread with a ton of oil in it. Because a lot of times they'll put like a cup of oil in there, which is ridiculous. You don't have to do that. And I had some Greek yogurt. Let me tell you about yogurt. This yogurt was sitting in the back of my fridge, okay? It's a little bit past the date. I'm going to be honest with you. But Greek yogurt, any kind of yogurt really, is cultured, right? It's supposed to have good bacteria growing in it. As long as there's not mold in there and it doesn't smell bad, I'm going to leave it up to you whether you want to use it or not. I'm using it. I've used it before, never had a problem, and that's totally up to you. So, I mean, people make yogurt by leaving it out on the counter covered so it can culture when you make homemade yogurt. We'll have to do that sometime because it's really good. And same thing with like creme fraiche, stuff like that. Anything with a fat content in it. Now this is whole milk yogurt, but even low fat yogurt, I haven't tried it with low fat yogurt, so I can't tell you what the results would be. But with stuff that has regular fat in it, I don't know if you've ever made duck confit, but duck confit is duck preserved in duck fat, and it lasts forever. It's one of the methods of preservation before we had refrigeration. So these are things you learn about when you cook. I mean, if you want to teach kids about chemistry, teach them how to cook. They'll learn chemistry. You don't have to teach them this molecule, that molecule. They'll figure it out if you just teach them how to cook. So let's get started. So this is 2 bananas, and these bananas were black on the outside. They were super ripe, so they're going to be super sweet. Don't throw them away. Use them for banana bread. That's when they're the best, okay? As long as they're not moldy or anything like that on the outside, you can use them. And when you go to bakeries and stuff and they're making, the cakes with banana and stuff in them, they're always made from overripe black bananas. I'm just telling you, that's the way it is. So we're gonna mash these up with a fork. So in here, I've got my yogurt, my applesauce, a beaten egg, some vanilla extract, and I'm gonna mix this up with my wooden spoon. Okay, so I stirred up my stuff here, my liquid ingredients, and then I put my dry ingredients in a separate bowl. That's flour and sugar, cane sugar, some baking powder, baking soda, a little bit of sea salt, because I like to use this Himalayan. This is a big thing of sea salt from Costco. It was really not expensive either, and it's obviously says Himalayan pink salt on it, so we know where it's from. It has a lot of micro minerals and stuff in it that's really good for you. And we don't use a lot. I used a 1/4 teaspoon in there. So, and then of course, allspice. We're using allspice. People don't realize allspice is an actual spice. It's not a blend. It's one spice. It happens to taste like a bunch of spices, but it's only one. And then I'm gonna make your life a lot easier because we're gonna take this cooking spray and spray our bread pan, glass dish with it, so that you don't have to rub butter everywhere and get it all over you. Then we're gonna pop it in the oven at 350 degrees. By the way, I whisked all my dry ingredients together first before I put them in the wet ingredients. This is called the muffin method, when you mix dry with wet like this. And it makes it really easy to just mix it with a wooden spoon and it's done. Okay, so I'm gonna pop it in the oven, 350 degrees. I start checking it around 22 minutes. I just stick a toothpick in the middle. You want it to come out clean, pretty clean. I mean, if it has like one little crumb on it, that's not a big deal, but you wanna make sure it's pretty clean. And 22 minutes usually works for me. I've used ovens where I had to leave it in there up to 50 minutes. It just depends. So you just gotta check it. Start checking it around, 20 some minutes, okay? And then we're gonna have some yummy banana bread. And by the way, if you wanted to put walnuts or something in here, you could chop up some walnuts, maybe a quarter to a half cup, and toss them in a tiny bit of flour, and then toss them into the batter, because the flour will keep them from sinking to the bottom. So this goes in the oven. See you in a minute. Seems I was just here a minute ago. We're gonna wait about 5 minutes, then we're gonna cut off a slice. That is a beautiful thing. Warm banana bread with butter melting on top. I gotta go. Don't forget to go to youtube.com/EADoherty1 and click on subscribe so you get all these recipes right away and links to the recipes. Have a great night.